Hello friends, welcome to EduTap and also welcome to our next lecture in the series that we have started recently for IBPS AFO Agriculture, and today's lecture is on concept of the day, and under this we are going to see outbreeding devices in plants. So what are these outbreeding devices exactly? See, these are the mechanisms or the processes which the plant adapt so as to prevent self pollination and go for cross pollination. And what might be the reasons for this? See, one important reason for this is inbreeding depression. See, because of continuous self pollination there might be a development of inbreeding depression in plants, which leads to unhealthy offsprings because of say male and female genes mating, and then without any genetic variations the degradation of quality of the offspring can reduce. So because of this the plant adapts itself to outbreeding devices. And one more, unisexuality. Few plants, they are already unisexual, so they don't have any other option other than going for cross pollination. So these are the various outbreeding devices the plant adapts itself so as to avoid self pollination and go for cross pollination. So here in this lecture we shall see what are the various types of outbreeding devices or the mechanisms or the processes that the plant adapts itself to. So friends, before starting with the session, I have a small announcement to make here. We at EduTab, we are going to launch courses for IBPS A4 2020-21 very soon. So please visit our website www.edutab.co.in for any queries or further details. So friends, as I have mentioned earlier, there are various devices which the plants, adapt to promote cross pollination, of which one is unisexuality. Unisexuality is nothing but either the plant bears either female flowers only or male flowers only. So this is also called as dioecious plants, where the plant can be divided into a female plant or a male plant. This again leads to only cross pollination, and self pollination is not possible in such kinds of plants. And examples, papaya and date palm, there you have female plants and male plants. Based on that they go for cross pollination to produce offsprings. So friends, next comes is dichogamy under this outbreeding device. So here in this type of outbreeding device, the stigma and the anther have different maturity times. And again, depending on the maturity, dichogamy can be of two types. One is protandry, the other is protogamy. Protandry. This is the andrecium or the male organs of the plant matures before the gynoecium, thereby leading to cross pollination, which can be observed in sunflower and carrot. And next is protogyny. Here the gynoecium or the female reproductive organs, they mature before the andrecium, that is male reproductive organs. So again cross pollination is inevitable here. So here the example is avocado. So friends, next type under outbreeding device is hercogamy. Hercogamy is nothing but it's a naturally occurring conditions wherein there's a natural physical barrier so as to avoid the entry of pollen grains of the same flower into its ovaries. And here the natural physical barrier can be any type, like in Arabidopsis and Gloriosa species. What happens is there is spatial difference between the female and male reproductive organs, like the anthers and the pollen. They are placed far away from the stigma of the ovary, so thereby leading to, see, these are placed like this, so thereby leading to hercogamy or leading to cross pollination, inevitable cross pollination. So friends, next type of outbreeding device, the plants adapt to is self-sterility or self-adaptability. Here see, in this type of outbreeding device, the plant possesses a gene to recognize similar genes, and it doesn't allow the pollen grain to germinate, and this self-sterile gene is present in the ovule and the grain, because of which the pollen grains of the same flower will not be able to, pollinate the stigma of the or of the same flower. So this is called as self-sterility, and this is very commonly observed in tobacco, crucifer family flowers, and potato. So friends, next comes is under this outbreeding devices is heterostyle, and here the name itself suggests hetero plus style. The stigma and the anthers, they are present in different levels. As you can see here, these are long styled flowers, these are short styled. So here the stylus, as you can see here, very long, and here this is very short. Thereby the position of stamens and stylus, they are in such a way, they are different, wherein the pollen can't reach the stylus, to germinate the same or to pollinate the same flower. So here this again heterostyle can be, various types, like one is diheterostylus species, wherein they have, two types of flowers. One is pin-eyed. Here they have long style and short stamens. As you can see here, these are called pin-eyed flowers. And others, it can have, short style and long stamens. These are called thumb-eyed. So this is very common, you can observe in Primula vulgaris, that is primrose plants, and jasmine as well. This condition again leads to inevitable, cross pollination only. So friends, next comes under outbreeding devices pollen prepotency. Here this is one such outbreeding device wherein a different flower's pollen matures faster than that of the same flower. Thus this helps in preventing autogamy or self-fertilization, and this can be very well observed in apples, grapes, etc. So friends, next comes is the answer of the day, which the answer for the question that we have asked in my last lecture. And here in the last lecture, the question was boka chaul or mud rice is native rice of which state in India? Here this is a native rice of Assam, and this is also known as magic rice because this doesn't require any cooking. Just one needs to soak this rice in cold water for 1 hour, and then it's ready to consume. So earlier when these Assamese people, they used to go for some wars or something, they used to take this rice and they used to soak it for some time, and they used to have it with some curd or jaggery. So this is how it has earned its name magic rice, because it can be consumed even without cooking. It is one of the sticky rice which has got its geographical indication tag in 2018. And one more important characteristic of boka chaul is, normal rice, it contains 20 to 25% of amylose, that is one starch, that is starch present in rice. But in boka chaul, it is only 4 to 5% amylose is present. And it also has good amount of fiber, 10.73% of fiber content and 6.8% of protein, which makes it again nutritious, for human beings. So friends, question of the day, today's question: the soil horizon that is formed by the process of elevation is. So thank you very much friends for watching this video, and if you have any queries, please write to us at hello@edutype.co.in, and if you have any queries, you can even reach us at the number given here. Thank you very much.